Hi, and this is Just Stay Politically Educated. In this series of Understanding Political Philosophy of Hobbes, today, we will be understanding Hobbes' theory of sovereignty, law, and right to revolt. To understand Hobbes' theory of sovereignty, it is important to note that the powers of the sovereign ruler is absolute. So, what are the governmental functions of a sovereign ruler? He takes over the role of legislator, executive and judicial officer. He does not only hear a case, but also decides and makes laws. He controls the taxes and defense. He decides his own ministers who are only accountable to him. With his power, he can either reward or punish the people who surrender to him. The king can do no wrong, he is only accountable to God alone. Criticisms of Hobbes' theory of sovereignty include the theory of social contract, which is based on the consent of the people who are the makers of the sovereign authority. But his theory of sovereignty overrules the theory of social contract. Next is the theory of law. In order to understand theory of law, we need to know its characteristics. So the characteristics of Hobbes' theory of law are: law is made and executed by the ruler. Law is the supreme command of the ruler. Law must be rational in character. And finally, law has the character to hold parties involved together. The criticism of Hobbes' theory of law is that law is formed through a custom or habit of the society. Even though the state can influence the customs of the society, it cannot change it. Thus, the law that creates the state cannot be created without the acceptance of the ruler. Finally, right to revolt. Every man has the right to resist the ruler if the security of his life is at risk. For under the contract, a man submits himself to the sovereign for the security of his life. The revolution against the ruler can be justified on the grounds of self-preservation. This theory has a slight contradiction to Hobbes' theory of sovereignty, as to whether the ruler has absolute power or not. If the ruler has absolute power, then there can be no place for a revolution. But if he has no power, the theory of sovereignty cannot exist. This is it for today. Subscribe and support us on more videos on political education. And, hey, just stay politically educated.